Hello, my favorite YouTubers. If you are coming back, thank you for returning. And if you are new, then welcome to my channel. My name is Lavish Suma, or aka Samaya. And today we will be discussing everything eyeshadow palettes. Love my eyeshadow palettes and I'm so excited to go through them. This video has been going around the internet, the eyeshadow palette tag, and I thought I'd jump on the bandwagon and talk about some of my favorites and my most affordable and most expensive palettes. So if you're into these eyeshadow palettes and want to know more about it, then keep on watching. I actually did create a list because there is so many. If you guys want to see how I prepare for these videos, definitely comment down below and I can do a separate video on that. But I did make a list of all the eyeshadows that I will be going through, and it's going to be through 9 different categories, and we're going to go through the oldest, the newest, the most affordable, most expensive, my everyday eyeshadow palette, my most colorful ones, my smallest one, and my largest one. Again, this isn't gonna be the full disclosure of all the eyeshadow palettes I have because that would take a long time, but this list is a good variation to see what I have in my collection. So let's get started. The very first eyeshadow palette I will be sharing with you guys is my oldest and most used palette, and that is the Urban Decay Naked palette. Guys, I got this so long ago and you can tell just by the packaging. This is actually not available on their website or even on Sephora any longer, but I did find a link for Amazon, which I will link down below. And again, all of these palettes and prices will be listed down below. So this was actually one of my very first eyeshadow palettes when I first got into makeup. I used to do makeup in high school, but it was always just like eyeliner. I didn't really get into the full foundation and all of that eyeshadow mess until like early college. And I received this as a gift and I love it. And you guys can tell that I used this so much, especially this color. So I tend to use a lot of base colors, especially for my everyday makeup. And I use this a whole lot. Definitely one of my favorite palettes still. I haven't used it in quite some time, but I do always love going back to this one. Now, my next category is going to be my newest palette. Now, this is from Morphe Pro. I am not a huge fan of this. This newest palette I actually received in my BOXYCHARM. If you haven't seen that video yet, I will link it up top and also down below. But I receive a lot of eyeshadow palettes in my BOXYCHARM boxes every month. And this was the one I received for May. And I actually did try it on in that video, which you can see, but I'm not a huge fan of this, especially because the packaging doesn't seem too chic and elegant. The shadows though are shadows that I do normally use, so I will give it another try, but not a huge fan of this, but it is my newest palette. My most affordable palette is from e.l.f. Love e.l.f. I have their Mad for Matte palette. Okay, I used so much of it and it's like breaking apart, but this was definitely one of my everyday palettes for some time. It's one of those, you know, all the matte colors that I can use on a day-to-day basis for like some quick makeup, some quick things, and I loved using this. As you can tell, I use this a lot, and it was only $10. And the e.l.f., they have even smaller ones that are like $2 or $3, but this one comes with a nice variation of all these matte colors. The most expensive palette I have is from Huda Beauty, and it is the Rose Gold Palette Remastered. Now this one, do have to give a shout out to my brother's girlfriend. She actually gave me this, I think 2 birthdays ago, and I am obsessed with this packaging. Like, look at this, guys. So beautiful. One of the prettiest palettes I own, and it actually comes with this too inside. Super cute. But look at all these beautiful, gorgeous colors. I do enjoy this palette. This palette costs a total of $65, and it is my most expensive one in my collection right now. I do enjoy this. I use this more so when I'm going out, and is my everyday palette currently. So my everyday palette changes from time to time. It's not always the same exact palette that I'm using, but currently my everyday palette is this Tarte palette. I actually couldn't find this on Sephora when I was trying to look for it, to link it down below. So I think I checked on the Tarte website and couldn't find it either, but it's one of these that have a combination of both matte and shimmers. And as you can tell, I use the matte shades, neutral shades a lot, and I've been using this palette for a long time now. I really do like this for every day ever since I've gotten it, and I love the Tarte shadows because they are pigmented and they also smell really good all the time, and I just love Tarte. I love Tarte for a lot of their products, and their eyeshadows are definitely one of my favorites. The next one I will be going through is my biggest and smallest palettes. So my biggest palette is from Morphe, and it is their 35N, and this one is an eyeshadow palette that has a lot of matte shades, and I think it's only matte, yeah. So huge palette. I also, you can tell what colors I always go for the most. But I love this. I actually bought this for my mom as well. We both really love like matte finishings, and these eyeshadows are also really good. I do like the Morphe palettes. I also do use their actual setting spray, side note, but I do like Morphe and what they have. I do want to get more of their brushes, but the eyeshadow palette so far, I am impressed. I do want to get more, and they're actually affordable for the big palette it is. It's only $25, which is amazing. I don't think they have this one anymore on their website, but there is plenty of more to choose from with the same amount of eyeshadows in a palette, and it still goes for like $25. My smallest palette is also something I received in BOXYCHARM, and it's from Dose of Colors, and it is the Sassy Cianis. I hope I said that right, but it comes with 5 shades, and it is my smallest palette right now, but you know, a nice shade of colors. I have used this before and I do like it. I received this recently though, I think just a few months ago, and
it's pretty cute. I like the packaging. Nice. I love rose gold.
It's my most colorful palette, again from BOXYCHARM. Shout out to BOXYCHARM for all these palettes, but this is from Dominic Cosmetics, and it's the Celestial Thunder. I really do like this packaging. It's super nice. It's different from what I have. And these are the colors that are in the palette. Very colorful palette. I haven't used this as often. I have used this color for the corner of my eyes a few times, but very colorful palette. I am trying to venture in more into the very colorful eyeshadow looks, so this is one of the palettes I will be picking up when I do that. The next and last eyeshadow palette is the one associated with one of my best memories. So this one was actually given to me by one of my really good friends, Miriam. Shout out to her. But one year, my friends, actually I think twice, but one of the years my really close friends came down to visit me in Boston during my birthday, and that is when she bought me this Naked Urban Decay Heat palette. I love this palette. As you can tell, I actually carry the boxes for a lot of things. If it's in good condition, I keep it. But this is the inside, and these are the colors. So again, this is another palette that I do use really often because I do love all these reddish purplish colors that I like to use a lot, and it has my base and it also has my shimmer. I love Naked palettes, as you can tell. I use them so much, and this is definitely one of my top palettes that I own. So thanks again to my friend for giving me this. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I do have a lot more palettes, and I do plan on doing videos on like different eyeshadow palettes, comparing them, reviewing them. And as you can tell, I receive new palettes monthly through my BOXYCHARM. So I am thinking of doing different videos on looks that I do with these palettes, and I hope you guys stay tuned for all that. If you haven't subscribed already, definitely subscribe below. I do post videos weekly and mostly 2 or 3 times a week. Please stay tuned for all of that, and I hope you guys join the family.